Welcome into Texas at the Voice of College Football. Today, I wanted to bring you guys something that we have not done on this channel, and that is going to be a recruiting spotlight video. Of course, we can go through a lot of different recruits, but we got to start off with the biggest name, the crown jewel of this upcoming class. We got to talk about Dia Bell. So what I'm going to be doing in this video is I'm going to be talking about Dia Bell, what's going on with him at the moment. I also want to go over some of his film. There's also an interview that I wanted to throw at you guys. We could talk about it. With that said, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe button. Let me go ahead and get the footage up and rolling here for you guys. This is his 2024 highlights. Now, Dia Bell is a quarterback for American Heritage High School out of Plantation, Florida. Stands about 6'2", 195, 196 pounds. That is the latest measurables on his huddle account. So if that's changed, then you guys can let us know in the comment section below. I love what I've seen on his film. Now, he is the son of NBA player Raja Bell. He actually grew up wanting to play basketball, but ended up loving the sport of football because of COVID and having more time spent on the football field. And I think it's paying dividends off for him, obviously. Being the son of an NBA player, he's a very solid athlete. I have a couple notes as to what I thought of him as a prospect. I said he's got a well-built size. He's a solid athlete. If you watch his film, I know these are his highlights, but when you actually sit down and watch some of his film, he's a player that is actually willing to take the check down. A lot of times you see these high schoolers they want to be Cam Ward. They want to be highlight makers. They're not wanting to check the ball down to the open receivers. You don't really see that with Dia Bell. Dia Bell is willing and will actually check the football down into the flats to his running back, to his tight end. He's a willing check down guy. So that's awesome. I think his release looks effortless. It is a quick release. He doesn't have the arm talent of like a Quinn Ewers in high school. Like Quinn had insane arm talent, but I think he's got effortless arm talent. This guy can make 50, 60-yard throws, and it does not look difficult. Like, for example, you look at Tua Tagovailoa, great college quarterback and, solid NFL quarterback, but it looks difficult for him to get the ball out 50 yards. You can see this play on the screen right now. This ball, it just comes out effortless for him. It does not take a long windup. It's a quick release. Here you can see right here, this is the check down I was just talking about. But this is somebody that can make every throw on the football field. And that's really sharp in my opinion. Again, you see these high school quarterbacks that have so much arm talent, but they don't really know how to use their arm. Not really the case with Dia Bell. Dia Bell knows how to use his arm. One of the things I also love about his game, you can sort of see it on this throw here. He knows how to layer the football. A lot of times you see these quarterbacks. A great example is Joe Milton, who still does it in the NFL. But you see these quarterbacks who every single pass it's a line, it's a zip, it's a straight up dart right in the middle of the field, but it's not layered. There's no easiness to it. And that's not the case for Dia Bell. Dia Bell can make these really fast throws. He can do all these things. He's got elite arm talent, but he can also layer it. He can also get that ball up. A good example, if you just watched Malik Neighbors go off against the Dallas Cowboys, Russell Wilson, he has that moon ball element to him. I don't know if Dia Bell has quite the moon ball of Russell Wilson, especially prime Russell Wilson, but he's willing to layer that football, which is really important when you're trying to get the ball over the safeties, over the corners, and more importantly, over the linebackers, especially when you're working in the in the intermediate parts of the field. So I think Dia Bell has everything you want from an arm perspective. When it comes to being a processor of the game, I think he's still a bit of a work in progress, but I definitely do think there's plenty of examples of him being able to go through his progressions. This is high school football. So very often he will stare down one target. You can sort of see this on this play right here, where he's not really going through progressions too much. It's high school football. He's going to get developed by Steve Sarkisian, by Milwee, and he's going to become somebody who will go through one read, two read, three read. It's like reading a book. You start on one side and you work your way all the way to the other side. That's something that we saw Quinn Ewers really take time to develop. We're going to see that from Arch Manning these next couple of years. Same with KJ Lacey and Trey Owens, which we'll talk about here in just a little bit about what the future of the quarterback room looks like. But Dia Bell is somebody that is going to have to continue to develop the progression of the field, understanding how to go from one read to another read at a quick enough time. There are times, like on this play, you can see he does go through his progressions, but you want to see it go through a little bit faster. I think that's something he will continue to develop. This guy has all the talent in the world. Some more things I wrote about him. He looks poised in the pocket. There's a calmness to him that you don't see often from players. A good example, Texas quarterback Quinn Ewers. We all know one of Quinn's biggest flaws to his game was his inability to stay calm in the pocket. He had shaky legs. Sometimes he would run himself into sacks. I have not quite seen that from Dia Bell. Dia Bell looks very calm. Maybe not as calm as like a Cam Ward, but almost like a Bryce Young for Bama when he was really calm in the pocket and would be willing to step up and make throws. I've seen that from Diabell. Diabell is he's not the quarterback that's just going to run around and make all these plays on the perimeter. He's willing to stay in that pocket, trust his offensive line, and when he has to, he will step up and make some plays from right there. This is awesome stuff you want to see from a young quarterback. Again, we talked about the athleticism. You've seen it throughout the highlights here. This guy is a solid athlete. Now, I'm not going to call him Lamar Jackson or Michael Vick or anything like that, but he looks like he could probably run like a 4.6 or maybe a high 4.59, maybe that's a little rich, but I think he could probably run about a 4.6, and he is a capable quarterback when it comes to running the football. Not sure if he'll be having to do a whole bunch of that at Texas, but if he has to escape the pocket, I think he's totally capable of doing so. Again, I said it earlier, looks very calm in the pocket. He looks like a natural mover in the pocket too. Like there's no false stepping or anything like that. This looks like a very well-coached player that looks like one of the top talents within this class. So a bit more about Diabell. Unfortunately, all the footage that you guys are seeing right now is from last season. The 2025 season, he just had a minor procedure, and he just announced this on Instagram. Bell is out for the rest of the season due to a minor procedure. The Texas commit did not disclose if this was due to an injury or what happened there. So we don't know what's happening there with the injury. Of course, when we do find out, we'll update you guys. Texas VOCFB on Twitter. Make sure you guys check us out there. We're getting back into the Twitter game there. A bit more about him. He was at the Elite 11 camp this past offseason. He won MVP. He was incredible out there, made some plays. Now, after this, I'm now going to go ahead and show you guys. Give me 2 seconds here. I'm going to go and show you guys a bit of an interview with a YouTube channel called Cover 3 Podcast. Shout out to them. This is a clip of Diabell doing an interview talking about why he decided to go ahead and commit to the University of Texas.
I feel like Texas really stood out. Like when I took my last visit there was for their elite camp. And I took my mom, my dad, and my 2 quarterback coaches. And we kind of did the whole thing again. We did camp. We had meetings with Coach Sark and Coach Milwee. And we did the whole campus tour and stuff like that again. I felt like that place for me was somewhere I thought I could thrive in. You know, my parents are always looking for somewhere that like I can get academics as well as play at the highest level and learn from people that are going to get me to the highest level as well. And I felt like Texas kind of fit both those worlds into one. And then for me, I just felt like the staff always made it feel like a second home away from home. And that's kind of something my parents always looked at. So, I mean, Texas always stood out in that sort of sense. And that's kind of why it ended up being them.
Great stuff there. Again, check out Cover 3 Podcast. They do great work over there, especially the Diabell interview. If you guys want to check it out, I'll have a link in the description for it for you guys. Now, when you look at the Texas quarterback room, obviously a lot of conversations about Arch Manning. Arch Manning has sort of struggled to start off the season so far, to, I guess, put it lightly. Diabell's commitment doesn't really affect anything in the future with Arch Manning. Arch Manning will finish out this year as starting quarterback. Likely will come back next year, and I would be fairly shocked if he wasn't the starting quarterback next year for Texas. So you got to think Arch will be here for the next 2 years. Next up after that, you would assume would be Trey Owens, who I believe will probably serve as a starting quarterback for at least a year or maybe 2 years. KJ Lacey also has a great chance of getting some starting snaps there too. I believe once Arch's time is up at Texas, you'll see a competition between KJ and Trey Owens. Maybe Diabell enters the conversation, but I believe if you're starting Diabell, that's not a good look for your other commitments currently on the roster in Trey Owens and KJ Lacey. I do believe Sark will allow those 2 guys, one of them, to compete for the starting job. I don't know who's going to win the job. Maybe it's Trey. Maybe it's KJ. We'll have to wait and see. I've heard a lot of positive things about both of them. For now, both those players, KJ's probably got a red shirt. Trey Owens, I believe, already used his red shirt. So you got 2 guys here that are going to be building towards the future. Not sure exactly when Diabell will see the field for Texas. That's something we'll have to wait and see down the road here. But the nice thing about committing to Texas early on, this is somebody who's helping us bring in other recruits. In the podcast, right after the clip I just showed you guys, he actually talks about wanting to go out there and help recruit for the Texas Longhorns to bring in other recruits into this upcoming class. The 2026, the class in which Diabell is a part of is a really excellent class that is starting to fully kind of flesh out. And Diabell is doing a great job of bringing in and helping Texas bring in those guys. So Diabell is doing a whole lot more than just playing on the field. Hopefully the injury stuff does go ahead and check out. When he does enter the 40 acres, he's going to be an excellent player, an excellent prospect, and somebody that's going to be developed really nicely with Steve Sarkisian. He's going to have experience, and when he gets on the field, man, I think Diabell has the talent to be an excellent player. But you guys tell us in the comment section below, what are your thoughts on Diabell? What are your thoughts on his recruitment? everything to go along with that, as well as let us know which recruitment spotlight you guys want us to do next. Maybe it's Derek Cooper, maybe it's a receiver, a corner. You let us know in the comment section below. Hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you guys for watching.